Hello my beautiful weebs and welcome to another video. Today Otaku Sensei will be recommending the top 10 anime where the main character is reincarnated to a magical world. If you're new here and happen to enjoy this sort of content, then please don't forget to subscribe as well as turn on notifications because 82% of you haven't subscribed yet. And for the people who are already subbed and like the video before it actually starts, know that we appreciate you. Anyways, let's get this started. We kickstart this list with Okasan Online. Masato Osuki is a teenager who is usually annoyed by his overly doting mother, Mamako, until both are teleported to a fantasy-themed world inside an online game. Masato tries his hardest to show his prowess inside the game, but constantly finds himself flustered by the fact that his mother possesses much higher stats. Thus, she can easily defeat all opponents with her twin MILF booba twin swords, leaving little room for him to act. On their way, they befriend 3 girls who join their party. As they take quests inside the game, they later discover that it was originally designed to help strengthen the bonds between parents and children. The story starts like this. Misato Kurihara, a genius girl who couldn't make any friends due to her exceptional abilities, is killed after being run over while protecting a young girl. Offered the chance to be reborn into a fantasy world, Misato asks that she simply be reincarnated with average abilities. Reborn as the noble Adele von Asham, she soon discovers that average in this new world takes into account the power of the absolute strongest and the absolute weakest magical creatures, resulting in her physical and magical abilities being 6,800 times stronger than that of the typical human, which is half of the strongest ancient dragon, the strongest of all the magical creatures. Attending Hunter's prep school alongside her classmates Mavis, Reina, and Pauline, Adele tries her best to live her life as normal as possible, which proves to not be an easy feat. In 8th place, we have Knights in Magic. Having died in a car accident, Tsubasa Kurata, an otaku from modern Japan, is reborn in the 𝐴ᴜ Kingdom, a medieval world where powerful mechs called Silhouette Knights are used to fight horrific demonic beasts. Born into a noble family under the name Ernesti Ekvaria and bestowed with prodigious magical abilities, he enrolls into the Royal Lahala Academy. This school of magic trains young men and women on how to pilot the Silhouette Knights, prepping them to protect the kingdom from threats both demonic and human. Ernesti teams up with the twins named Adeltrud and Arkid Ulter with the ultimate goal to create his own Silhouette Knight one day, a feat unheard of for several centuries. In 7th place, we have the 8th Son. Are you kidding me? Shingo Ichinomiya was once a single Japanese salaryman until the day he fell asleep and woke up in a magical fantasy world. He awoke as a young boy named Wendelin von Benno Baumeister, the 8th son of the noble Baumeister family. Due to his family being poor, Wendelin is unlikely to inherit anything from his father, as the family's noble title, wealth, and possessions will go to his eldest brother Kurt, while the rest of his brothers leave the succession to find income by other means. He looks through his father's library and finds a magic testing orb, which glows with rainbow colors when he activates it, proving he has an ability to use magic. Alfred, a former court wizard turned restless undead, senses his magical prowess and decides to teach Wendelin everything he knows about magic. Thanks to Alfred, Wendelin becomes a skilled swordsman and mage, leading him to become a famous adventurer known throughout the kingdom. The story starts like this. It has been over 500 years since the human race almost went extinct at the hands of the fearsome and mysterious beasts. The surviving races now make their homes, towns, and cities up on floating islands in the sky to keep out of the reach of all but the most mobile of beasts. Only a group of young girls, dubbed the Leprechauns, can wield the ancient dub weapons needed to fend off invasions from those dangerous creatures. Into the people's unstable and fleeting lives, where a simple call to certain death could come at any moment, enters an unlikely character, a mysterious man who lost everything in his final battle 500 years ago, and had awakened from a long, icy slumber. Unable to fight any longer, the man, Willem, becomes the father those kids never had, caring for and nurturing them even as he struggles to come to terms with his new life, in which he feels the same pain of helplessly waiting for his loved ones to return home from battle that his daughter once felt for him so long ago. Together, Willem and the Leprechauns gradually come to understand what family means, and what is truly worth protecting in their lives. In 5th place, we have Dog and Scissors. Kazuhito Harumi is a high school boy who is obsessed with reading books. One day, while reading in a cafe, he is shot and killed when he attempts to protect a random stranger during a robbery. As he is determined to read his favorite author's unreleased last work, he gets a second chance and is reincarnated as a long-haired dachshund. As a dog, he is adopted by Kirihime Natsuno, the very person he tried to save, as well as the only person who can understand him in his new form. Kazuhito then discovers that she is not only his favorite novelist, but also a sadist who enjoys terrorizing him with scissors. In 4th place, we have By the Grace of the Gods. Deep in the forest, far away from any human contact, there lives a child named Ryoma Takebayashi. He engages in a rather strange hobby of keeping various types of slimes as pets. Furthermore, despite his young age, he has a sturdy physique and a good compatibility for magic. All of this is because, having endured much hardship in his previous life, 3 gods grace Ryoma with a second chance to pursue one goal: savor the wonders of life. After 3 years of comfortable solitude pass by, Ryoma meets people that will change his current life forever. When he encounters and helps some soldiers tend to their wounded comrade, the group convinces him to accompany them to visit the nearby town's ducal family. Ryoma agrees and soon embarks on a journey to explore the vast world beyond his home.
なんだこいつ。ハルト。今は時間がない。オド、魔力の使い方教えるから感覚で覚えて。
In 3rd place, we have Spirit Chronicles. Amakawa Haruto is a young man who died before reuniting with his childhood friend who disappeared 5 years ago. Ryo is a boy living in the slums who wants revenge for his mother, who was murdered in front of him when he was 5 years old. Earth and another world. 2 people with completely different backgrounds and values. For some reason, Haruto, who should have died, is resurrected in Ryo's body with his own memories and personality. As the two are confused over their memories and personalities fusing together, Ryo, or Haruto, decides to live in this new world. Along with Haruto's memories, Ryo awakens an unknown special power, and it seems that if he uses it well, he can live a better life. But before that, Ryo encounters a kidnapping that turns out to involve 2 princesses of the Bertram Kingdom, in which he lives.
何やってんだこいつ。俺は重症者だぞ。しかし美人だな。ヨーロッパ系か。そんなに無防備だとおさわりしちゃうぞ。え？
Despite being bullied, scorned, and oppressed all of his life, a 34-year-old shut-in still found the resolve to attempt something heroic, only for it to end in a tragic accident. But in a twist of fate, he awakens in another world as 𝐴ᴄᴜ, starting life again as a baby born to 2 loving parents. Preserving his memories and knowledge from his previous life, 𝐴ᴜ quickly adapts to his new environment. With the mind of a grown adult, he starts to display magical talent that exceeds all expectations, honing his skill with the help of a mage named Roxy Megurdia. 𝐴ᴜ learns swordplay from his father Paul and meets Selphia, a girl his age who quickly becomes his closest friend. As 𝐴ᴜ' second challenge at life begins, he tries to make the most of his new opportunity while conquering his traumatic past. And perhaps one day he may find the one thing he could not find in his old world: love. It has one season, and the light novel of the anime is pretty dope, but sadly the anime is pretty slow, so I highly suggest you read the light novel. Also, if you're looking for anime like this, you can read the beginning after the end light novel or manhwa. And we finish this list with a dope entry. Ascendance of a Bookworm is at number 1. The story follows Urano Matotsu, a book-loving post-secondary college student and a soon-to-be librarian who ends up crushed to death beneath a pile of books during an earthquake. With her dying breath, she wishes to be reincarnated in a world where she can read books forever. Urano awakens in the body of a weak 5-year-old girl named Mine, in a world where books are scarce and only available to elites. Mine, retaining her memories from her previous life, decides to create and print her own books so that she can read again. This video ends here. I want to especially say thank you to all those people who support me through Patreon and the channel membership. Also, make sure to follow through social media for update related stuff. Hope you enjoyed this list as well as got introduced to new shows, and if you did, then leave a like and share with your buddies. And like always, subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, try to keep the comments section wholesome.